Hi everybody and welcome to a cozy bookish weekend. I am so excited for this little off time that I have this weekend, and we're gonna make the most of it. We're gonna read. I'm gonna try and finish the book that I'm currently reading. I'm gonna try and read some more of my January TBR, preferably the shorter books, so I can finally get some books started, because believe it or not, I have not finished a single book in 2025 yet, and today is January like 24th, I think. And I'm also gonna knit and crochet because that's just my current hyperfixation, and then we'll see what else this weekend it's gonna bring along. I was really excited because I thought maybe I'll go book shopping as my first bookish like whole weekend of the year, but I can't because the book that I really want, part 2 of the Heartless Hunter or the Crimson Moth, I think that's like the same book. Part 2 only comes out in February, and that's the only book that I really want to buy right now. So no book shopping today, but I think I still want to go into town and like sit at a cafe and read, because I haven't done that in forever. And I thought about it last night, and I think I know why. I think usually I just get like whatever drink and snack I want, and then I sit outside in the sunlight, and I'm like, best time of my life. But it's January, so I can't really sit outside in the sunshine, so I'll have to sit inside. But inside the cafes are kind of small and crammy, a lot of them, so I don't really know. But I think we still will, because I've been at home for so many days now, like not doing anything besides studying and taking a walk mostly, and I just really want to go out there back into civilization. The book that I'm currently reading is The Isle of Sin and Shadows. I am on page 126, and so far I really like it. I think it actually does classify as a dark romance, because he's kind of, but he like owns a very shady bar, and he also like people for money, so I guess that's kind of dark. And I think that well, that's just my theory, nothing has pointed to that yet, and they haven't even met yet, the two main characters, but I think that he might have done that to her parents, family, father. I don't really know. I don't really have the full picture yet, because I'm just like a little bit over 100 pages in. I'm just like getting where we are, and we are now at the like island that they mentioned all together, but nobody really met yet, so I don't really know what's gonna happen, but I do have some feelings. And I really love Carrie Lake's writing style. She has so many like the way she puts together words is just so interesting to me, and it always sounds so nice. Let me read like a few of the quotes. Something flickers out of the corner of my eye, movement at the edge of the otherwise empty beach, and I don't bother to look. I'm the only one who knows it's there, the only one who can sense its presence, and looking will only reaffirm the accusations that I'm crazy. I'm not entirely convinced that I'm not. Love that. The island's dark folklore has always given me the impression of a southern French Transylvania, darkly enchanting, and the locals are said to be friendly, if not a little strange for their beliefs in the spectral and macabre. This island alone boasts more ghost stories than all of Louisiana combined, and I'm one of them. I don't know, I just really like her writing style, and I'm very excited to keep reading this. I've landed on this ghostly tea in a gothic Victorian manor, haunted house ambience. I think that also kind of matches. It doesn't really look like the house that I'm imagining, but I think their house is definitely haunted, so that works. Look how pretty. The sun is finally out again, and I have my first tulips of the season. I love this. I have been knitting for a bit, and I made possibly the cutest thing ever. It's a little letter book, sleeve, like a little love letter. It's, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like light blue, and we have a little red heart. And it is a little bit short, but it also stretches a lot differently than crochet, because the other book sleeves that I made are all crochet and not knit. And it's still missing a button, but this is what it looks like with the book in it. I think I could have made it like a little bit longer, but it also is fine. And this book is kind of a bigger book, which brings me back to what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna keep reading. I am not that far in. I'm on page 160 and I'm very interested to see how it's gonna keep going because, as I mentioned a couple hours before, I think they met now and we're getting more and more clues as to what Celeste's family estate was and the people that lived there, them and before them, and what maybe happened to her family and maybe also to her. I don't really know, and it's really interesting, and I love Carrie Lake's writing style. Served today, we have one iced vanilla matcha and one very hot chai latte because I haven't had one in a while and I really want one today. So I think it's too hot for a taste test actually. Let's go sit and read and then taste this. So last night I actually ended up reading over 100 pages in bed. So now I am exactly 51% through the book. It sucked me in. It's so good. I love this so much. I did highlight 2 things that I wanted to read to you because I don't think that they give anything away, but I thought especially this one is really interesting, and I feel like it describes so many kind of like mystery books and TV shows and everything, because there's always this one element where somebody figures something out that they should have already known, but they for some reason don't recognize it. So yeah, can't give too much away, but the quote is, so somebody says this to somebody else: "Of course I know, but you don't, and I'm a figment of your mind. Therefore I can't tell you. Everything you've learned up to this point you already knew. You just refused to see it." And I think that's really nice. And then there's also this, it's not even really a quote, it's just, again, the way that Carrie Lake puts words together is just really interesting to me. "Screams lay trapped inside my skull, bouncing around." I think that's just about the coolest thing I've ever read, because I can imagine exactly how that feels like, and that's so great. I love Carrie Lake's writing style. I'm gonna try my best to finish this book today. Today I have no plans except for dinner plans at I think 7-ish or like 5. At 5 we have dinner plans, so until then I can read. And since I read 100 pages last night and that didn't take too long, like 1 or 2 hours I think, I should definitely be able to finish it today because I am on page 270 and the book has 520-ish pages, so not too much left. And I'm so excited about this book. I don't want to spoil anything because I want everybody to read this. And I do have to say, the book would be good without any of the, like, I guess not without any of the romance, but without any of the spice. I don't really need that with Carrie Lake's books because they're just so interesting to me. And sometimes, to be honest, I'm like, okay, we're gonna skip over that a little bit just because I think the rest, like the plot, is so interesting. And I love this. The house that's like kind of the main part of the plot is haunted, and obviously somebody comes along and now wants to make it a mental health facility. Get off, leave, let whoever wants to live there, and don't turn it into a business, because you know it's not gonna get better for anybody if the house is haunted. How would anybody feel good in a house that's obviously haunted? Other than that, I love this book so much. I'm deep into the plot now and I'm so interested to see where it goes. We just got ready for dinner and I just want to say I'm on page 400. I love this so much. I do have to say, I think it actually totally could do without the spice, and I think that's maybe what might make this a 4, not a 5 star, because it's not like too much or like too many scenes. But that was one thing I was like, I don't really know. But overall, I love this book. I'm obsessed with it. I'm finally finding everything out and I cannot wait to finish it. I'm probably gonna finish it tonight because I do have like 120 pages left, which is about 2 hours, and I should totally be able to do that, and I really want to know what happens. So yeah, but for now we're gonna head to dinner. Good morning. I finished Alice in Chains last night. So good. 4.5 stars, not 5 stars, because I don't know, I just think Nocticadia was even more in-depth, and there was a tiny little plot hole that I didn't understand, but so good, highly recommend. Which means I finally finished my first book of 2025. Whoops. And today is January 26th, so good job me. But today I have 2 more books that I want to get. Maybe, well, I'm gonna get into one, I think, or maybe both, I don't know. We have a true crime thriller, that's that one, and then we have The Great Gatsby. This one is so tiny, I think I'm gonna start with this one. It has just over 100 pages, 122 pages. So I think I'll start with this one because if you remember, it was one of my goals for the year 2025 to read a classic book each month, and so far I haven't, because obviously I haven't read a full book yet. So we're gonna start with this one because it's small. And then later at night I want to get into this true crime thriller. This is actually written by a forensic doctor, expert, whatever, and I think he worked the case that he tells us about, so that's very interesting. I did get a little bit into it already, but so far I just haven't been hooked and I didn't have time to read it. So I am gonna try and start now, because usually these like German crime books go by pretty fast. They're usually like very short chapters, only very few pages, like 2 to 5 pages usually, so that goes by really quickly. So I want to try get into this one. I only read the first page, which is the introduction, because this is apparently kind of a book meant for students, and I already highlighted something. It's dizzying narcissistic wealth, and I think that just is the coolest description of wealth ever. Dizzying narcissistic wealth. That's so cool. And that's not even from the author, that's by whoever wrote this introduction. Also, why is the introduction so long? This is also very different to read for me, because usually I read fantasy, obviously, and I got this book like here to read with me. Then I was like, what ambience am I gonna put on? What ambience do you put on with this? I put on obviously the Hogwarts walking trail, but that just doesn't really fit the vibe, even though that usually always fits the vibe. I don't really want to do like a 20s party thing, so I'm just gonna be doing my little fantasy ambience here while reading a classic book. The ambience is like 45 minutes long, so that's gonna be my first big little reading thing. It's sunny outside, so I decided that I'm gonna head to the park and read outside for the first time this year. I'm back home. It got really cold, but luckily the sun is out again and I can enjoy it for a little bit longer. In here, I just had the best time at the park, but tell me why I am so slow reading this. I am on page 26 and I've been reading for like an hour, and usually in an hour I would read like 60 pages. I don't know what's going on, but I really like it. I have so many things highlighted. Mainly it's just little descriptions of people, or I can't really explain it, but like there was this one thing, I think I might have shown it. I actually didn't want to tab it because there were so many on each page, and I didn't want to risk ruining the book because the pages are really thin. I don't really know what it is, but I'm just gonna read it to you. I was within and without, simultaneously enchanted and repelled by the inexhaustible variety of life. Love that. And then there's so many more. There was this one where he described like 2 people walking, Tom and Miss Baker, with several feet of twilight between them. That just sounds so nice. I don't know, I can't explain it. There's another one that I really liked. This actually describes today perfectly. There was so much to read for one thing, and so much fine health to be pulled down out of the young breath-giving air. That's what I felt today. And that's like the best and most beautiful explanation I've ever seen for this. But I did just find the audiobook, and I think I might listen to a little bit of the audiobook because I am currently knitting again. Actually, no, I'm crocheting. Also, my boyfriend got me a very early birthday present. 2 magazines from some old lady on Vinted. One of them is making socks, and I found this one pair that I really like, but I would have to use the exact same yarn because these are so cute. I think they're kid socks because they're size 36, and that's kind of small because I'm like 38, 39, but I could probably just make them bigger. But I have no idea how to read this pattern yet because it's just like 11M, then 1M, 11M, here's number 1.5, 2 NDR. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna try and figure all of that out. But there's so many cute ones in here, and I think this is one of the funniest pages because all of the socks have a theme, and this theme is socks for any occasion, and the occasion in this case is changing the tires. I kind of want to make my dad these socks and then show him the picture of what they're for, because he obviously then has to wear them whenever he's changing tires. Also, there's one woodworking. That could also be great for my dad because he does work with wood, I think.
Sure I did. I was going to wear it tonight, but it was too big in the bust and had to be altered. It was gas blue with lavender beads, $265. There's something funny about a fellow to do a thing like that, said the other girl eagerly. He doesn't want any trouble with anybody. Who doesn't? I inquired. Gatsby, somebody told me.
Good morning. I finished The Great Gatsby last night. It was too dark to film though, so I thought I'll just tell you how I liked the book this morning. I did give it 4 stars, not because it was some extremely gripping plot or anything. I did think the plot was good, predictable, but it's only a little over 100 pages, so I didn't expect it to be out of this world. Where I rated it so high was the writing style. I underlined so many beautiful descriptions of things, and it was just so like such a different writing style, but very descriptive, not like an over describing a little thing kind of way, but just I don't really know how to put it, but he describes things and I have them in my mind and I can just imagine them very well and very detailed, and I can almost like feel them. It was things like the little thing of twilight between them as they were walking and stuff like that that I just really enjoyed, so that's why I rated it 4 stars, which is really good. The first 2 books of 2025 are a 4.5 and a 4-star book. I'm very happy with that, and that also marks the first book of my classics of 2025 as done. Maybe we'll book journal together in the next video. It's not the end of January yet. I'll try and finish maybe 1 more book and then we can book journal together. I think that would be a good idea. But yeah, I'm very happy I picked this up. I honestly didn't really have any expectations for any of the classics because I just bought them because I wanted to be more educated in the classics department. So I didn't really buy the ones that I thought would be good. I just bought the ones that I could find on Vinted. But I'm very happy that this one was part of it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.